Hi, did you watch my first video about Dutch articles? Do you remember de pen? What can you tell me about it? Remember that de has plenty of embedded information inside. I got this pen from James Bond. Remember, I told you, he gave it to me for my birthday. All this information is inside de. De is an article. An article is married to noun. It means to belong to each other. We have two kinds of articles in Dutch language. Definite article and indefinite article. You use definite article when you and me both know what we're talking about or who we're talking about. For instance, de pen or het boek. There's one specific pen and one specific book which we have discussed before, or maybe saw before. Indefinite article. When your speaking partner doesn't know yet what you're going to talk about, you're going to use een. You can say, I have een pen. Ik heb een pen. Oh, ik heb een appel. What is a noun? Noun is a replacement for a thing, person, animal, idea, concept. A noun is a part of speech. All nouns are divided into two groups. Countable nouns and uncountable nouns. What are countable nouns? There are things which you can count. 1, 2, 3, 4 enzovoort. Like 2 pennen, 2 tafels, 2 auto's, 2 honden, 2 mannen enzovoort. What are uncountable nouns? Uncountable nouns are things which you cannot count, like water. You cannot say 2 water of 2 melk. We use other words to count them, like liters. Countable nouns could be singular or plural. Singular means one piece or one. Plural means 2 or more. For instance, 2 pennen or tafels or auto's. Singular is only one, like een pen or an apple. How you gonna use it? Before you're going to ask something or say something, you need to ask yourself, do you know what I'm going to talk about? If answer is nee, you don't know yet, and it is one thing or person, you're going to say een, for instance, pen. If it's 2 or more, which is plural, you're going to say pennen. In this case, we don't use an article. Yes, there is an article, which is invisible one. You can say invisible een. You don't see it. So I would say, ik heb pennen. I have pens. When something is uncountable, like water, milk, lucht, again, we are not going to use article. It will be invisible article. But we're going to do it only when you, another person, wouldn't know yet what you're going to talk about. It's not specific. If we both know what we're talking about, then in its one piece, we're going to use the or had, like the pen, remember, or had book, specific one. If it's plural, we're going to use the, always the. So, the pen will be de pennen, and het boek will be de boeken. When it is uncountable, then we use de or het. Why? Because uncountable noun doesn't have singular or plural. So we just use the article. Het water or the milk. So let's summarize. Please remember, you are the manager of your conversation. Before you're going to say something to another person, you need to ask yourself, do you already know what I'm going to talk about? If answer is yeah, we both know, then you're going to use the or had. When it's singular, means one piece of one human, use the or had. The pen, het book. When it's plural, you're gonna always use the pennen or the boeken. When it's uncountable, you're just using the article of the noun itself. De suiker or het water. If your partner doesn't know yet what you're going to speak about, talk about, or ask about, you are going to use an or invisible an. When it's singular and countable, you're going to say an pen or a book. When it's plural, you're going to use invisible an. Invisible article. Invisible an. Boeken. When it's uncountable, you're going to use again invisible an. Suiker or water. Later you will learn why it's important to keep in mind why we have invisible an there in place. When you're going to deny, when you're going to make these words negative, you will see that it will help you to understand how the Dutch language works. I have some examples for you. If you don't know yet, I would say, ik heb een pen. So what does it mean? It could be any pen. It could be a pen in general or not specific one. If it's plural, I'm going to say ik heb pennen. This invisible an. It means some pens are not specific ones. Ik heb water. It could be any water, some water, water in general. It's not specific. Or ik heb melk. If you already know, I told you before, ik heb de pen. Remember? I told you. It's a specific one. Ik heb het boek. Again, it's a specific one. We both know which book I'm talking about. Ik heb de pennen. I got another pen from James Bond, blue one. Now I have two. Now I can say ik heb de pennen. So when I'm saying de pennen, you know that I'm talking about blue one and red one. This and this. Ik heb de boeken. The same explanation. Ik heb het water. What does it mean, het water? This is my water. I drink it. So I can say ik heb het water. When I'm saying het water, I'm referring to the bottle with water. Now, het water is specific, so I can say ik heb het water. The same for milk. Ik lees een boek. I'm reading a book. Ik lees boeken. I read books. So, what does it mean? Ik lees een boek. I'm just reading a book which you don't know yet. That's what I'm saying. Ik lees boeken. Just some books. But which books? You don't know. They're not specific, just some books. Now I have a question for you. If I would ask, wat doe jij in jouw vrije tijd? Heb jij hobby's? Wat doe jij in jouw vrije tijd? Heb jij hobby's? So, which answer would be more appropriate here? Can I say, ik lees een boek? Or I would say, ik lees boeken. If I would say, ik lees een boek, it sounds like I'm reading one book my whole life, because it's my hobby. Generally speaking, we read different books. So I would say, ik lees boeken. Three examples. Honden zijn dieren. Here we use plural, which is also not defined. You see, there's invisible un, invisible un, invisible un. There's no article there. Honden zijn dieren. Dogs are animals. Honden hebben een staart. Dogs have a tail. Ik heb honden. So, what is the meaning of this sentence? What is the meaning of dogs? Actually, when I'm saying honden zijn dieren, I mean all dogs. When I'm saying honden hebben een staart, dogs have a tail, I mean dogs in general. Not every dog would have a tail. This kind of generalization. Generally speaking, they do have a tail. Ik heb honden. What does it mean? I have dogs. Just some dogs. But you don't know how many, what kind, how big are they. You don't have any information. I'm just saying I have some dogs.